Go ahead.
Ready? Moonlight night that killed the sun. The purple season. Sitting in the kitchen with Reg's back in front of me. We all die by the hands of angels, don't we, I said. The 3 days before, the season of sex had culminated in a binge so deep into insanity, I was left with quivers of the eyes and mind, and faint questions I didn't have the soul to shout. More ugly faces, more shakes, and the whorehouse where the whore's breath stank of sugary death. But right now she's at the coffee shop, waiting for me to finish the smoke of my childhood, and the smoke that crawled all the way back to the card store in Midnight Fandango. 317 for an Always Be You card, written with my shaky hand of a 2-block murder run. 317 for me in foggy window with my hat to heart. Silly snake, goodbye bluebird, don't unremember. And I tossed the smoke, and I toppled my hat, and I dragged 2 guys and told them to give it to her. I looked in the window. She was on her phone that moment. That night she hadn't wanted to end. And that was terrible. And I was sorry. Sorry to you. And sorry for new message from bar star Andrew. I need to go away for a couple days. I'll talk to you later. I had felt the cold creep in a little by then. And her eyes started. And there wasn't that honey in her giggle anymore. That night, that first night. Then there was the day. The first one I told Reg was a day of destiny. Walking out with my heart blooming. Oh, boys and girls of the streets become gargoyles at night if they don't have any sparkles tinkling in their bloodstream. Gilly Stream Bloodstorm. And then there was when I first realized her. Walking out of the station, I tossed my smoke and she beamed at me. And I took off my shades and she had a mustache. And we ate brownies. You were crazy about the dogs walking by. I couldn't order a thing because my teeth were empty. How telling it all is now. And your ring scarf, the one you forgot at the bistro, and I got back for you because someone was trying to steal it. But I don't want you to think you murdered me too, bloody. Though you did. I just don't want you to think that. I don't want you to think that I want to envelop the whole universe when something references you. I just do. I had been with a girl that very same night, and I saw in her eyes that broken, naked, skinned look, which, if we're not all idiots, is our inherent birthright here. And I said goodbye to her on the train, and she grabbed my hand. I never saw her again. So I was rambling around sighing the wind, like the cave sire who feeds the wheat. And I went in for a beer, and I sat alone. Ah, world, I sighed. Why do you have me here? Why was I torn away from my funny forest? When can I blow you and then retrieve the tinkle balls of ringing shapes? And it was black in there, and the TVs fried my eyes. Lost cabin of the electric ocean, barging and bringing nothing. Then you said, "Excuse me, are you from Ottawa? You look really familiar." I couldn't see you, and I didn't see you till that first day. You can't hymn a hymn, but you can hymn a hymn. My song really is a doomed one. The great globe in the sky is a dusty bell with just some twine to ring. I'd been welcoming a new year on Saturday, but right now she's on her way home. Don't unremember, and not a word from her, which probably was implied. New Year's. I played the divine fool with an Irishman I'd met just that night, never to see again, and threw street meat at assholes and tipped me hat before dashing and snarling, "Hippie New Year!" And I cursed the gods in the middle of Queen Street, asking for one fair game of Texas Hold'em as my right. And I fell on girls and you sent me, "Did you die?" That brings me comfort. The season of kisses. Her eyes were always kissing each other and then mine. And then they give my eyes her water, right into mine, right into mine. That was the first bed was mine, that first bed. I picked you up on the corner in my tights with people staring, with something in my mind I couldn't touch, and I looked for you. I knew you were there, and your eyes were all golden and broken and bulging, because you had just been talking to Colorado, who had cried. And you had 2 huge African wine bottles, and looked so cold and pathetic with those in your purse. I walked you home. And we stayed together for the next 67 hours. But oh, Colorado, if I could only tell you, show you the wrath I have for you for even putting one droplet in those kissing eyes, the eyes she sheltered me with, the emerald empires, those. In my bed she has giggles, and she's nervous, and she's pushing away while pulling me in. And I think she's insane, and I see demons sitting on my head, and I see golden leaf morose oaks chilling in a lake of silver flosh. but I only look at the little smudge of the pinched lip and the dimple-bottomed cheek. Don't look at me like that, but I like it. In my bed I heard her because the chastened fountain I worship at I was only allowed to touch, because all the water was locked, because of bread. All now, 370. All now, please give this to her from me. That's her, the one with the tongueless blackbird in her heat. You don't know what I mean? Then just go in there and look for me. That's her, there. Kind of unbelievable how she finger grazed my scar while she drew, while she cotton balled the hole she made herself. It was the pad thai, the lonesome gross remembrances of my karaoke brethren, and the night I told her that didn't have to end by the spineless sun. And the night I ran jingling my change off curbs and over old ladies, and clowns pushing me, and 2 wanderers giving me the kindness of angels. And no coloring books for kids. No sweet note of goodbye between a purple lion. So I became a pink canary for you, and you say you're afraid of what I can flap. His name was Andy Poolhall. He was a deer of death from the M place. If all I have to say to you is reduced to things and issues, you fed me, gush girl. The country of little round tomatoes, the crushing of phone beeps and snores, the landscape of your lullaby land of sheets and beats and blooms and spindles, where I thought I could build an empty cove that would be wept on. You fed me. Myself ran on yourself for such a short period of earth seconds I called it a class. And you know I never learn a thing. Everything of myself ran on yourself. That would be wept on. You fed me. Myself ran on yourself for such a short period of earth seconds I called it a class. And you know I never learn a thing. Everything of myself ran on yourself. Maybe you should just hang up and come over. I did. And I told her on the way that something had happened just outside the door. No breath. And then I knocked. And I'll tell everyone I ever meet, everyone who comes to kill me, about the way you giggled when you slowly peeked your face at me in the streetlight sonata of my memory. My memory where you're slowly withering. My memory where only a shadow of you is. The memories of candy loomings that I want to enshrine in turtles from the hollow water roof of your mouth. I'll need to spend centuries alone in my hermit bedroom to paint you. These candy loomings. The happy time when we looked for a bathroom in a too big place where they sell things to buyers. And the Black Lady legend. And all the names and people I had for you. I peopled with you. Just after we sat in the early work morning in your sheets, I slithered along you eating me up, and I knew it was over in time. It was over in time, Daisy girl. It was over in a time I don't belong to, and it was over without one token of myself. And the sun was coming, and the world was telling us it was over, and the tacos were gurgling in us, and I rolled on top of you and said, for the final time, tacos to tacos. My boots crusted in mud, I slumped over a saw all day. I just wasn't there at all, I just don't know. You're more confused than I am, but I don't want that to be able. Fucking childish. It's all fucking childish. I won't let you sleep tonight and dream. No dreaming with me, of me, in me. Ass to ass, baby spoon. In several short sentences I had excavated a tomb of shame that was covered inside me by someone I am no longer. I had drawn you that night, and then you started to draw me and I realized you were better than me. Much better. And though you say I shouldn't be wasting my time with Leah's fucked up, we both know you're best in this, that you're the one meant to be a universe baby with chillum and certified womb. And now, as I smoke into all the wine bottles we drank that night, conversing guru-legged on my mattress of all the jokes there will ever be, and looked at the things you drew me, I realize all of this. All of it. I look at my smoke-stained eyes and it was all written there. Every text, every whimper, every bolt, every step and blood rush and moon sigh. I'd ruin this drawing with drunken scrubblings to you. And the sailings of night will cool over my self-castration. Only but you will bring me to lashes. You, by the moon men mad, do the things of grace. Your eyes are so sad. You look like that little scaredy-pants muffin, up, looking up saying, love me? Pictures blow and pictures burn. All I need is a bloom from you on the day of dandelions, in a field of blue. Picnic, giggles, just me and you. The season of weeps. I have drunk some odd 90 beers in the last 3 days. I've destroyed my mind and now I cannot sing. On the 30th hangover of the 27th day, a demon sat on my head again. And I asked who is in my face, who has painted my lips and goggled my eyes, who has reverted to the simpering bubbles of my dying, my death, my dead. Your 1 second coldness. He's in town for sure. because her phone is off, and I'm left here knowing he's in town for sure. I've killed some odd 56 characters in my brain, 39 books, 71 theories, blue memories, a scrap of soul in the fight. You were gone for 2 days that time, and then I came over and we didn't sleep at all. I have killed. I'm off now. Probably never will. Yeah, maybe 3 months. I try and be joking and lighthearted now, so you'll remember me that way. So I know I'm that to you till I'm nothing. And the goneness of all this is just the telling of how much a pussy you're being, of how your greats will rust one day. And though I'll still be a raven, my treetop will be swaying magnificently to the symphony I wrote to you in a tiny room in hell. The season of seasons will never, probably will never. I drew her heart on a place card, like I had donned myself on another one. And in her heart I put the blackbird of myself, perched, beak down, bleak and drowned. And she drew mine, and there it empty. And she drew hers, and hers dead. I hate, I say. And she draws us, her flowing dress, my chaplain cap, on a pony in space, with a rainbow of black and yellow. There it says to me, happily swelter better. Are you gonna be my girl? And why's your shirt still on? It was then that I went out for a smoke, and I returned with the note, and I looked in the bitten window, and she was sitting there with her bag, and her hair was looped around her ear like I was obsessed with, because I wanted to shoot away, long time away. With one flick, she was looking down at her phone. I know Colorado. I know. But I saw no lily-eyed Leah. None. Her coat was on. It's probably the last time I see her. Back table. Left side. Green tea. Good night, little girlie.